We have a CGC box here. 2 huge Silver Age keys. One, I'm not going to be surprised by the grade. The other, we tried for something. Let's see if it worked out. Up next on this video from Bronzeville Comics. Hey there, comic book community. This is Jim from Bronzeville Comics coming to you with another video. Before we get started, please like, comment, subscribe, do all that great stuff. We're getting real close to 4,000 subscribers, and we will be doing a 4,000 subscriber giveaway. Stay tuned. I want to put together a prize package and then figure out what videos we need to look at, you need to comment on and like, etc. to be eligible for the giveaway. In addition, follow us on other forms of social media. We're on Instagram at Bronzeville_comics. We're on Whatnot at Bronzeville_comics. We do sales every Monday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. If you sign up with the link in the description, you will get $10 off your first purchase if that's your first time on Whatnot. It doesn't have to be a purchase with me. And this coming Monday, April 3rd at 10 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be doing a big slab sale. So tune in. A lot of slabs going to be low fair market value, a lot of opportunities to get some cool stuff. And then also in the description of this video is a link to my email and to my eBay store. So I sent in 2 books to CGC under the these were express books, which means they have to have a declared value of over $1,000, which means, obviously, they're big boys. So they're big Silver Age keys, and one book is in low grade, but still in low grade. It's still a big book. The other book has a history to it on this channel, and we'll talk about that when we open it. I'm looking for something specific, not in terms of grade, but in terms of the type of label that I'm going for. So let's take a look at the books. I do not know the grades, so there's just 2 books in here. We'll talk about them, and then we'll talk a little bit without going into, I don't have a lot of data on what I'm hoping for from one of the books. So I dig these out, bubble wrap, etc. So I'm not going to look at the books, and we're going to do something a little bit different than I do, because I don't want to see the color of the label either. Okay. So we're going to do it this way. So here's the first book. Yeah, I'll do this one first. I know the color of the label, but I don't know the grade. It's a book that I've gotten a number of times. It is a low-grade book. It is a Daredevil 1, first appearance of Daredevil. I know that it has a... I'll do it over here. It has a split spine, fully detached cover. But everything is there, and it's intact. I did press this just to make it look as good as I possibly could. Part of the thing, the centerfold's detached as well, so like the centerfold pages were sticking out a little bit, and they were a little bit crumpled. So I basically, part of the pressing was to kind of put those back in place, put the centerfold in so that the pages of the centerfold were flush with the rest of the book. Otherwise, they're sticking out. I'm figuring a 0.5, maybe, just because it's complete and it presents reasonably well. Maybe a 1.0, and we got, oh, nice, a 1.0. Okay, very off-center sticker. And it's off-white pages, which is pretty good. So that's as good as I could have hoped for from this book, is a 1.0. I mean, it's like a $2,000 book. I'll look up at the fair market value of 1.0s. Can you, like, do a little bit better with the sticker? I mean, people talk about quality control. That's just one of the things is, you know, it should be, the 1.0 should be centered better than that. That's a little disappointing, but I'm not disappointed with the grade. It got as good as I thought it could. Again, there's pieces missing from the cover, but I think the plus is there was no tape. Right, the image is more or less intact. We got a big subcrease, and despite the fact that it's split and detached, you know, there's paper loss there. There's part of the back cover is missing. But as I said, I pressed this figuring what's the worst that could happen. You know, I wasn't going to make it. The worst I was going to make it was a 0.5. So I think just kind of making it a little more presentable, got it to that 1.0. So that is something I'm happy with. Now the next book, the only other book in this submission, is a book that I was submitted once before. Okay, I'll tell you the story and then we'll look at the book. So it was a book I got as part of a collection. And the book had part of the cover was torn off. A fairly large chunk of the front cover. I met up with Jerry the Jitterbug. And if you're not following him, the stuff that he does in terms of comic book conservation is really remarkable. He did win the Comic Book Community Award last year for best, I guess, cleaning, pressing, and conservation video, whatever the video series, whatever the title of the series was. And so he worked on it. He did a very professional job of conserving the book, and it came back with a purple label, which surprised and dismayed both of us. So I kind of sat on it for a while, and then I said, the heck with it. I cracked the book out, and I resubmitted it. We didn't rework on it, didn't do anything else on it. I cracked it and resubmitted it. So, okay. I'll show you what the book is. It is Fantastic Four #5, the first appearance of Doctor Doom. Okay, now, you might be able to see it, but I mean, the Jerry did such an amazing job. From here, there's a faint, you can see a faint line. It almost looks like a printer's crease, as subtle as has made it look. Okay, I'll give you a real close-up there. You can see it goes, you know, kind of through the entire word fantastic. If you can see this close, you can see that line. That entire top piece, right? This entire top piece here was torn off the book. It was still with the book, but it was torn off. And Jerry did a tear seal on the inside, and he also did leaf casting on part of the spine here, just to reinforce the spine. There's always a difference. There's a price difference between a blue label unrestored book and a purple label restored. If I submitted this to get a clean blue label, unrestored, unconserved, this piece of the cover would have been put in a bag and board separate from the encapsulation and shipped back to me. That was not in the best interest of this book. This book needed to be conserved in order to be complete. I thought it would have been a real sin in order to get this encapsulated to remove that, and it would have been a 0.5. So Jerry submitted it, and he was very upset. He got back we got a 3.0. Slight, moderate, B2. Restored grade. Restoration includes pieces added to cover, tear seals to cover, cover cleaned. Now, cover cleaned and tear seals to cover are acceptable under a blue label conserved grade. Pieces added are what made it a restored grade, and I think the fact of the matter was Jerry did such a good job and just such a subtle job in working on this book that they did not notice that it was leaf casting that he did to the spine. They looked at it as pieces added. Very subtle difference. And the difference, from what I understand, and I am not a professional conserver of comic books, but in looking at this and talking to Jerry and watching his videos, these things can be removed with water. leaf casting and tear seals can be removed with water. So because of that, they are considered conservation, not restoration. So my hope was, resubmitting this book, that they would see that it was leaf casting and not pieces added. So I just put a Post-it note on the front of the bag when I submitted the book, said, please note leaf casting on cover. So we cracked out a 3.0 purple label, and we got back a 3.5. We even went up a half a grade, a 3.5 blue label restored. Okay, so this is a double success story because conservation includes leaf casting cover, tail seals to cover and interior, cover reinforced, cover cleaned. 3.5 conserved. What is the page quality? Yeah, it's still cream to off-white. So I could not be happier. And it kind of shows like the variability of submitting to CGC. It was a 3.0 purple label, and it's now a 3.5 blue label. Now, conserved, it's the blue label, but it has this gray stripe on the top. So it's not a true. So if you're not really familiar, the Daredevil here is a blue label universal grade, and the FF is a conserved grade. In my opinion, conserved is preferable to restored. And the fact of the matter is, if I submitted this book and got a universal label, universal blue label, it's a 0.5. Okay? So instead we get a 3.5. Even if it's 50% of the fair market value of a universal blue label, I think still 3.5 is a lot better than a blue label, universal blue label 0.5. And, I mean, look at that book. That is a gorgeous book. And it has been professionally. I mean, look, the back cover is, he cleaned it. It looks gorgeous. And the one benefit for me personally of just cracking this out and resubmitting it, I cracked it out and I was able to look at the book and appreciate by opening the cover, looking at the interior of the front cover, flipping through the book, appreciate the work that Jerry did. So a huge, huge thank you to Jerry the Jitterbug. Again, follow him on YouTube. If you have not seen his videos, you will be astounded by what he does. He is a comic book alchemist. And there are other people who do similar work, but I have developed a personal relationship with Jerry. We live kind of close to each other, so we've seen each other at cons and what have you. So I am so thrilled to get this book back in this grade. That being said, we know Dr. Doom sooner or later will come. This is his first appearance. So let's talk fair market value. I'll be back in just a sec. So an amazing work on there. I'm still stunned by that book. So the Daredevil comes in at a fair market value of $1,800. And there's a lot of price compression in those lower grades for the Daredevils. Daredevil, that book really heated up about a year ago or so with his appearance in No Way Home, his appearance in She-Hulk, and the announcement that he was going to get his own TV series. So that is a really, really awesome book. Fair market value of $1,800. The interesting thing about the FF number 5, according to Go Collect, and this is really approximate, a 3.5 has a fair market value of $9,000. The most recent sale was $8,410. The sale before that was $13,950. So those were both in February. The 3.0 has a fair market value of $7,250. So a difference of $1,750 in just that grade bump. So if you figure, and I want to do more research, and I'm going to be doing a video upcoming where I look at prices for conserved versus restored grades on high ticket Silver Age books, because that's really going to inform me as to what the value of this this FF4 or FF5 in a conserved 3.5 is compared to a universal grade. If it's half, I'm still thrilled. Half of $9,000, I'm going to put the FMV at $4,500. That is a big boy book. Again, this unboxing, I went 3 for 3. I got the higher end of what I thought I would get on the Daredevil one. And then the Fantastic Four #5 came back in a blue label, which was what I was hoping for and looking for. And it came back a half grade bump in terms of what I was looking for. So 3 for 3. Again, Jerry the Jitterbug, thank you, my friend. I really appreciate the work you did on this book. And really, you took a book that was a 0.5 and, made it into a beautiful, beautiful book. Just, you can barely tell that there's a tear there. I mean, you see the line, but man, that book just looks fantastic. Pun intended, I guess. So, let me know what you think about that. Because I've seen videos of people getting purple labels, I guess for the whitening, which is a completely different thing. This is conserved, that CGC acknowledged, and they recognized that there was work done on the book, but it was of a professional quality, and that really means something. So, again, thank you to Jerry. Thanks everybody else for tuning in. Let me know in the comments below what you think. In the meantime, you can take a look at a couple of my other videos. I'll put some videos related to my previous unboxing of that Fantastic Four book. And this is Jim saying until next time, enjoy your comics.